Everything above the occipital bone, we're then going to create a horizontal section towards the top of the ear, which will allow us to again separate the top from the bottom of the back of the head, giving us little hair to work through when creating our external line at the bottom of the length. To cut the external line in at the bottom, we're going to get our client to stand up in an upward position, making sure their feet are nice and parallel and balanced. This will allow us to create a beautiful square cutting line at the bottom of the hair, taking off only what's necessary to really strengthen the length and the bottom external line. This will also allow me to work with my eyes completely parallel to the cutting line, which is important when working these straight one lengths. As you can see, we've now created one rectangular shape with both those sections in, and then we have that natural triangular shape from that zone out in towards the recession area, which creates the density and thickness of our fringe. What we want to do is create something that is slightly shorter in the center and gradually getting longer towards the corners of the eyebrow area to start shaping and framing the face. So we're going to start in the center, where we're going to be creating our shortest point in the center by working the hair 90 degrees out from the head, cutting through our fingers. This will allow us to create a soft and slightly graduated shape on the external line whilst we're choosing the choice of length. We're now working section number 2 to the side of the profile and over directing it back in towards the center, which again will start to increase the length towards the corner of the eyebrow area, meaning we're going to have the shortest length in the center and the longer length and denser length towards the corner of the eyebrow, meaning the shorter length will push the longer length hair to the side of the face, and we're going to naturally get a beautiful split in the center of the face, creating a very subtle bang in the fringe. We can see with the result that we have that really beautiful movement and natural split through the center. As you can see, we have maximum control working through that whole panel, elevating it out and forward, and then working all the way through the whole section at once. The choice of technique that we're using is over direction and elevation, where we're elevating it 180 degrees out from the head shape with maximum elevation, and the over direction in terms of the sections is 1 straight out from the head, cutting a square line, then 2 back to 1, 3 back to 1, 4 and 5 also back to 1 as we work down the side of the head with our horizontal sections. So we can see that everything is being over directed in towards the center with our first section's length that we've created. This will act as a type of technique which will allow us to maintain as much length and density through the external that comes forward and round into the side of the face. But everything internally will be heavily layered to a shorter length. And as you can see, we're working with quite a strong shape, which goes from shorter in the center, longer towards the corner of the head. Once we finish the frontal zone, we're now moving in towards the back, where we're creating a central guide, 1 finger's depth from the top of the apex down to the bottom of the nape. And we're going to use that shortest length on the top as our guide. And again, we're going to be working with some slice cutting from the shortest length, working a triangular shape from short into long, where we're retaining all of the length on the external shape by working the slicing with the V of the scissor with lots of control through the dampness of the hair. This is a great technique to use underneath the finger with the blade when you want to create lots of softness, lots of movement within the layering. The way that we're going to be doing that is by working in small subsections, working with a small amount of hair at one time, working with the paddle brush underneath the hair and the hairdryer coming over the top, working with the direction of the hair, smoothing out the cuticle from the mid-lengths through to the ends at all times. Once we're happy with the personalization and the density and textures looking really cool, we're now going to finish off with a dry texture spray, where we're going to really just give it a very light coat around most of the haircut, mainly aiming in around the roots area. This will just give a very light hold, add a bit more texture to the finished look, and give it a bit more of a gritty feel after the hair has been washed, which really goes very well with the final look of this minimalistic style.